the president of Mozambique, Filipe Nyusi, met with leaders of political parties in that country. The leader of the official opposition, who is in Europe, did not join the meeting, however. Meanwhile, it's business as usual as Mozambicans are preparing to celebrate the new year. For more on this, let's now welcome Professor Agostino Zacharias, chairman of the Center for Strategic and International Relations at the University of Joaquim Chissano in Mozambique. Prof, thank you so much for your time and good afternoon to you. So let's talk then about this meeting. So President Nyusi met with leaders of all political parties, we understand, barring, of course, the official opposition leader, Venancio Mondlane, who is in Europe. Let's get a sense then on what was on the agenda of this meeting and any outcomes you know of or are aware of at this stage.
No, I think, first, thank you for having me. But I believe that the meeting centered on trying to create mechanisms for the parties to work together in a post-electoral conflict that has emerged last 2 months in Mozambique. But I believe that dialogue is the way to go, and the government understands that it's very difficult to govern a country which is very much divided, in which people have grievances that go from being angry, being jobless, and insecurity, and also violence. I think the political parties as well as the governments are trying to sit down and discuss a way forward. And this is going to shed light in terms of what needs to be done in the country.
And of course, as we give context to this particular unrest, the announcement of the official election results on the 23rd of December exacerbated tensions in the country. What do we then read into Mondlane, who asked for a pause in these protests? We know that he is in Europe. What can we read from his absence in this meeting that was called by President Nyusi?
I think the essential thing in here is that there is a feeling now that Mondlane may be right in types of protests that he's carrying, as taken forward. But there is a sense in some quarters that they have gone too far. When he tries to call for first is warning himself as a president, and then holding elections for other structures, I think people may begin to say, isn't he going far? And there's also, rightly, there has been a business that have destroyed. There have been liberties of people who to go either to hold their funerals or go to church when these demonstrations are in place, because there are barricades on the road, and the people who are living in the shanty towns, if we may find it very difficult because the police force in Mozambique is not made of many people. So deploying all of them in different places is beginning to be difficult, and it ends up interfering. These demonstrations then end up interfering with the social life of people who really sometimes they may be willing to join the demonstrations, but when it affects their lives, they begin to ask questions. Where is this going to end? Where are we going to? If they can't work, they can't get a living. And so there's a beginning of sense that maybe this is going a little bit far from what they have anticipated.
Yeah. Prof, I'm going to squeeze in one more question because I can sense that your line, which was bad initially, is now starting to pick up. What then can we, especially just looking at what you're saying in terms of what the people on the ground in Mozambique want and need in terms of their livelihoods, in terms of also the economic situation there. The interventions that we are currently seeing from South Africa with President Cyril Ramaphosa's envoy, Dr. Sidney Mufamadi, in Mozambique, deliberating and engaging with stakeholders. SADC has also reaffirmed its readiness to assist in facilitating whatever peaceful resolution or outcome to the challenges. What can we then make of these, diplomatic channels, as it were, in ending this violence that we're seeing?
I think the diplomatic channels and negotiations or dialogue, whatever you wish to call it, is the solution. We need to be able to dialogue about several things that are in Mozambique, being them politics, security, or the economy. However, we don't have the right environment now. And I think that the meeting that the president called is trying to create that environment so that people and Mozambicans can begin to talk with the support, international support, if it is necessary. With the support from SADC, if it is necessary. But I think the Mozambicans themselves, they should lead the way on trying to bring all those who are concerned, all those that can help to find a solution. I think there is a feeling in many people that although Venancy is part of the problem or in these demonstrations, interfering in the social lives of people and the economy, and also people who are not going to work so easily, it is also part of the solution because he commands an important number of Mozambicans through the cell phone. With his lives, people are obeying whatever he's saying. So we need to find a way first of arresting the situation and then dialoguing and seeing what is wrong and seeing the measures that need to be taken or implemented in order to correct what is going on. And I think we are lucky enough that SADC is ready to support, and there are other international players that are ready to support. But Mozambicans, they should take the lead. And where we can't resolve some of these issues, I think we welcome the support of any other player. But I believe, and it's to salute the political leadership now that have come to the conclusion that the way forward is no longer violence, but it's no longer also ignoring many of these problems that have been raised in the past, but is sitting down in a round table like South Africa did during the CODESA or any other mechanism or any other way to say, let us talk, let's find solution to all the problems that concern us. And I think that's the way forward. If the new year is going to start with that possibility of sitting down, I think that's the best thing that we can do.
Interesting, Prof. Thank you so much for your views. Really do appreciate your time, Professor Agostino Zacharias. They're just weighing in on the situation in Mozambique.